Hello, my name is Tim, my company is Sports and Touring, and it is my great pleasure to show you this beautiful Mazda MX-5 2-litre Sport Tech NAV. Mazda call it art in motion, and I have no reason to disagree with them. The beautiful lines on the Mark IV MX-5 take the classic design, the decades-old fundamental design of this beautiful roadster, and bring it absolutely bang up to date. The gorgeous shoulders, the beautiful curves, the beautiful compound curves, the detail around the body, and all the while retaining that classic MX-5 look. This Mark IV or ND design really does bring this eminent roadster bang up to date. It's a classic because of the engineering, because of the driving experience, because of the practicality and economy of ownership. And MX-5s are cars which are loved by the people who buy them and drive them. That's one reason why we specialise alongside our Jaguars in Mazda MX-5s, because they're cars which people really have a passion for. They look after them and they enjoy driving them, and happy people make for a happy business for us, and that's why we're very pleased to stock so many of these gorgeous cars. This particular one then, a Sport Tech NAV. It's the 2-litre, it's the most powerful engine that Mazda have put into an MX-5 at 181 brake horsepower. And in this machine grey metallic finish, it really does look absolutely superb. A one-owner car, not that we set great store by the number of owners. We much prefer to look at the actual quality of a vehicle and its provenance and its service history and so forth. But in this case, it's one owner who's looked after this car very carefully. It's been serviced at Mazda main dealers. It's in great condition, and it is a pleasure to have it here. Let's take a look inside. The car's supplied, of course, with the original book pack and 2 remote key fobs, but no need to unlock using the key fob because keyless entry means that you simply press the button on the handle. The car unlocks, and there we are, looking into this beautiful cockpit. A very modern, in some ways futuristic design with high quality materials as we expect from Mazda, and some really lovely touches. I adore the way that they've brought the body colour into the cockpit there, over the lip of the door and onto the door card. And the door card, the seat, centre console, dashboard, carpet and mats are all in really good condition. It's a low mileage car, of course, very low mileage, and there are very few signs indeed that this car is other than very fresh. Sitting down into the MX-5 is a lovely experience. It's a snug cockpit, beautifully laid out, fabulous ergonomics. Looking around, we have between the seats a handy stowage there, which locks as well, so if you're leaving the car parked with the roof down, you can put your valuables in there. 2 drink holders, one of which you can move around actually to the left-hand side of the centre console. A useful little stowage in the middle there, and then the audio and infotainment controls. Manual handbrake, much the preference of performance drivers. It gives you complete control over the handbraking. And of course, always a highlight in an MX-5, this beautiful, sweet, short throw, precise 6-speed gearbox. It is such a pleasure every time that you change gear in an MX-5. The feel of it, the response is really superb. We have the USB sockets there, including one which accesses the Android Audio and Apple CarPlay facility on the infotainment. Climate control with air conditioning, of course, and heated seats for the wintertime. It's push-button start, so you can press the button there. The instrument panel springs to life. And if I close the door, we can take in a little more of our surroundings. The infotainment panel there, simply controlled from the center console, taking you through applications, entertainment, communication, navigation, and the vehicle settings, of course. On the steering wheel, we've got the audio and Bluetooth telephony controls on the left, and on the right-hand side, cruise control and speed limiter. Automatic lights, of course, and rain-sensitive wipers, and this lovely clear instrument display with the LCD screen on the left-hand side. It's a multi-mode display which shows you various parameters as you call them up. That big rev counter in the middle to tell you that this is definitely a sports car, and the speedometer very clear and well laid out on the right-hand side. Buttons down here for the iStop system and lane keep assist and traction control off, and down on the door, of course, we've got the electric window controls and mirrors. And amongst the features on this particular MX-5 ND, very welcome, a reversing camera along with sensors which make backing into parking spaces or your garage very easy indeed. It's beautifully laid out. It's a real pleasure to drive one of these. They are such drivers' cars, and this particular example in such good condition. You can see pretty well a completely unblemished interior just as it left the factory, and real testament to the way this car has been looked after. If you've seen some of my previous videos, you might be unkind enough to say that I've got a bee in my bonnet about folding roofs. I'm certainly concerned about them. I don't like them when they're too complicated, when they're likely to go wrong, and especially when they take far too long to open and close. And this MX-5, I think, absolutely nails it, because it's a manually operated roof, very simple, very reliable, nothing to go wrong in terms of hydraulic or electric mechanisms, and super, super quick. To close the roof, just release the lever here, the roof pops up, move it across, operate the latching handle there to lock it into place, and you are ready to go again. And when the sun comes out and you want the roof down at the traffic lights maybe, it is the matter of seconds to release the latch, throw the roof back, tap it down into place, and there you are, ready for top-down motoring. Super quick, super reliable, ticks all of my boxes for convertible roofs. Looking at the passenger side of the car, and again, everything is in beautiful order. The door card, dashboard, carpet, mat, and these beautiful seats with this double stitching in perfect condition. This is a good point to point out, by the way, the Bose sound system. It's a 9-speaker system, including headrest mounted speakers. So if you're on the telephone in this car using the Bluetooth, the sound is very crisp and clear. It's very easy to make and receive calls, even with the roof down, and that is an absolute bonus. The car's sitting on these beautiful 8-spoke, 17-inch alloy wheels with that lovely smoky silver look to them that offsets the machine grey paintwork so very well, and clad in Michelin Pilot Sport tyres, which give excellent grip and road holding. They're not noisy. They are a very premium tyre and ideal on this MX-5. Lots of convertibles suffer because the boot is too small, but the MX-5 boot is a good, large, practical space. It's deep, if I put my arm right in there, and it extends out behind the wheel arches on each side, so that if you've got longer items, they'll fit in there without too much trouble. I usually mention in videos about MX-5s the mother and daughter whom I saw on Facebook going camping around France, and they managed to pack an enormous amount of camping equipment into one of these little cars, demonstrating that it really is a very useful space, and without any of the awkwardness of the roof folding into the boot space, which you do get on a number of brands. It's a clean and simple design on the MX-5, and one that's stood the test of time very well. Under the bonnet, and there is the 2-litre 16-valve straight 4 engine, Mazda's Skyactiv G technology, their latest engine technology, and in this MX-5 producing 181 brake horsepower. Now that is more than any previous MX-5 has had, and you can tell that extra little bit of grunt really does add to this car's performance and makes it such a pleasure to take along those winding country roads or motorway overtakes or wherever you need some power and speed. This car delivers in a very satisfying way indeed. 0 to 60, by the way, in 6.5 seconds and a top speed of 136 miles an hour. And despite that performance, it achieves a combined MPG of 40.9, which is very respectable indeed, I think, for a sports car. But again, as I very often say, these cars are not about the numbers. They're not about sprinting from 0 to 60 and beating someone away from the lights. They're about the experience of winding country lanes, of A-road overtakes, of those moments of connection with the machine and the road, which the Mazda MX-5 always has delivered so very splendidly. I love driving these cars. It's a really rewarding and very, very connected experience. So thank you very much indeed for watching. It's been a huge pleasure to show you this beautiful roadster. We are Sports and Touring. We're just outside Andover in Hampshire. We're open 7 days a week by appointment only. You're very welcome to telephone, email or WhatsApp us with any inquiries, or if you'd like to see the car either in person or by video call. If you've got a car to dispose of, you can chat to us about that. We'll give you frank and honest advice about the best way to achieve the maximum value with the minimum inconvenience. And if you need to talk about finance, we can do that as well. We're authorised and regulated by the FCA. I do look forward to hearing from you soon. Thank you for watching. Do please check our reviews on Auto Trader. We're very proud of our achievements, and I hope to hear from you very soon.